Have you ever wondered how a simple story about a fox and some grapes, or a tortoise and a hare, could survive for over 2,000 years and still shape the way we teach children about character, virtue, and choices? Welcome to Tree of Knowledge, where we explore the roots of wisdom and how they continue to shape our lives today. I'm your guide and lecturer, and today we journey back to ancient Greece, to the remarkable life and enduring legacy of Aesop. This isn't just about old fables, it's about how stories, short, simple, but profoundly wise, can still guide our children and grandchildren in becoming thoughtful, resilient, and moral human beings. Let's begin with the man himself, Aesop. Historically, Aesop is something of a mystery. He is believed to have lived around 620 to 564 BCE, during the archaic period of ancient Greece. Ancient sources, including the Greek historian Herodotus, mention Aesop as a Thracian-born slave who lived in the household of a philosopher named Xanthus. According to legend, Aesop gained his freedom because of his cleverness, wisdom, and storytelling abilities. While some scholars debate whether Aesop was a real person or a composite of oral traditions, his stories were preserved and passed down for generations, eventually compiled into collections centuries later by writers like Babrius, Phaedrus, and Plutarch. What matters most isn't necessarily the historical details, but the legacy, a body of short tales filled with moral lessons, metaphor, and enduring truths. So what exactly are Aesop's fables? They are short fictional stories, usually featuring animals that talk, reason, and behave like humans. But these aren't just cute tales. Each one ends with a moral, a concise, universal truth often summed up in a single sentence. Let me give you a few examples you likely know. The Tortoise and the Hare teaches us that slow and steady wins the race. The Boy Who Cried Wolf warns that a liar will not be believed, even when he speaks the truth. The Fox and the Grapes reminds us how we often despise what we cannot have. These stories use animals and simplicity not to avoid complexity, but to reveal it. The animal characters are mirrors, reflecting human behavior, vanity, greed, patience, courage, foolishness, and wisdom. They're deeply psychological and philosophically rich, despite being told in the span of a few sentences. Now let's step back and ask, why have these fables lasted over 2 millennia? Why are they still told today, in homes, classrooms, and even corporate boardrooms? The answer lies in their universal accessibility and moral clarity. In a world where values and behavior are increasingly shaped by rapid technology and fleeting attention, Aesop's fables cut through the noise. They teach children not just what to think, but how to think, to see cause and effect, to consider consequences, to empathize, to reflect. These are not just children's stories. They are cognitive tools. Studies in developmental psychology show that storytelling, especially moral storytelling, enhances emotional intelligence, social reasoning, and ethical decision-making in children. Aesop's format, short, vivid, morally grounded, is perfect for the developing brain. For grandparents and parents, these stories offer an easy yet powerful way to pass down values generation to generation. They open the door for conversation. They let children explore right and wrong safely in a story world before facing it in the real world. Think about it. A child hears the lion and the mouse and learns that kindness is never wasted. That message stays with them. Later in life, when they're faced with a bully on the playground or a tough moment with a sibling, that little lion might roar again in their memory. Or when your grandchild says something unkind and you respond, "Let me tell you a story." You're doing more than disciplining. You're mentoring. You're planting a seed of wisdom. Aesop gives us a language of morality that transcends time and culture. Whether you're a parent or grandparent, these fables equip you with a timeless tool to raise children of character, empathy, and courage. So, the next time you find yourself wondering how to teach a valuable lesson, remember Aesop. Pick a fable, tell the story, ask questions. Let your children or grandchildren wrestle with it. Imagine themselves in the story. You don't need a lecture, just a tale well told. In a world overflowing with information but starving for wisdom, Aesop's fables are a humble but powerful antidote. They remind us that even the smallest story, when told with love and reflection, can shape a life. Here at Tree of Knowledge, we believe in nurturing young minds through timeless wisdom. If you found this lecture valuable, consider subscribing and sharing this with a fellow parent or grandparent. Let's pass these stories on, one child, one tale, one moment at a time.